Hi everyone, John Cottrell here of MBODY Yoga, and welcome. This is Soft Flow Yoga. It's a 60-minute gentle yoga practice. So for our practice today, we're going to need a lot of props, so you may need to go run and get a few things. And our usual props that we like to use for class are certainly a blanket or something soft that you can sit and kneel on. So I've got my blanket here and a couple of yoga blocks or hardbound books. You want to grab a couple of those. Sometimes I mention having a bolster or a big pillow. Today I'm going to recommend that you have something like this. This is just my firm yoga bolster. A big cushion or pillow like from a sofa might work, or even like several towels rolled up, okay? So something like that. And then lastly, just a hand towel, something like this from the bathroom. If you don't have a yoga strap, this is a great tool to use. A yoga strap would work just fine. We just don't need something that long, but just a regular little hand towel like that, not only for sweat, but also for a good prop. Alrighty, and I think that's it. So let's go ahead and begin. I invite you to come to a sitting position. Sit as comfortably as you'd like. You can sit cross-legged or you can extend your legs. Certainly use a wall or chair to help support your back for these first few moments of our practice. And as we settle in, I'll talk a little bit about what we'll be focusing on today. So maybe just start with a few deep breaths. Breathing in deeply through your nose, and you can exhale through your nose or out through your mouth. Do that again, a nice full breath in. Really feel the breath expanding the lungs. Fill yourself up. And a complete release. And as you exhale through the mouth, perhaps you might sigh and even feel your shoulders relax. And that's actually going to be our focus today. I'm quite fascinated by shoulders and just the allowance of our shoulders to move our arms in all different directions. And so I find it maybe necessary, just something I'm very aware of, just making sure we have strong shoulders, functional, flexible shoulders for the duration. And in our normal everyday life, perhaps you might find yourself sitting a lot or driving or sitting at a desk, which certainly can kind of hunch ourselves over, so really pulls the shoulders forward. And so we can kind of get stuck like that. So in our practice today, I've entitled this class Shoulder Binds and Release. So there will be a few binds in our practice which will involve our shoulders, but really focusing on the release. Continue with your slow, deep breathing. Feel the breath rising upward to fill up your lungs. As you exhale, as you're able, draw your navel inward toward your spine, just a light engagement of your abdominal lock. It'll feel like you're contracting or engaging the abdominal muscles. So again, a breath in, feeling the breath rise. Feel that nice expansion through the lungs. And exhale, connect to your center. Do that a few more times. Just feeling the breath as it moves through you. Listen to the sound of your breath. And go ahead and take 3 more breaths as a way to generate a little bit of energy to begin our moving meditation. So a very simple movement here. When you're ready, an inhale to extend your arms out, and maybe your palms are naturally up, reaching towards the ceiling. And you might find that your palms are facing one another. Exhale, you might turn your palms out and then downward as you bring your arms down to your side. Let's do that again. So an inhale as if you're scooping up the air, lifting the air up with a good energy in your arms. Reach and extend, a little extra stretch here at the top. Flip the palms down. Even feel like you're pressing air down, but it has some resistance to it. And just continue to move and breathe on your own. A few more times. Again, the inhale to allow your arms to float up. Good energy, a reaching and stretch quality there. Exhale, extend your arms out across the room, pressing down the air. As you kind of flip the hands up and then flipping them down, also notice what's happening to your arms, particularly your shoulders. Since again, that is our focus today. Notice the sensation in your shoulders as your arms go up and down. And don't forget to pay attention to the lengthening of your spine, the stretch and lengthening sensation through the sides of your body. Go ahead and finish the breath that you're on right now, and go ahead and take 2 more breaths. Go at your own pace, and whenever you are complete, you can just let your hands rest in your lap, let your shoulders relax. Take a deep breath. From here, we'll just bring the hands behind us and just prop yourself up onto your fingertips. In this, we create our seated mild back bend. But again, let's focus a bit on the shoulders. As we bring the arms back behind us, it draws the shoulders back, allowing the heart and chest space to open. So we can consider this a shoulder release. So with the hands behind you, just press into the ground as you inhale. Feel the lungs expand. You might even tip your chin up just a little bit, just to provide a little bit more space in the upper body. Then as you exhale, draw your navel inward towards your spine. And as you're able, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and it's an activation of your upper back muscles. This is a good exercise to do on a regular basis, and we typically do this every single class. Again, pressing down into the mat with the fingers, feel the energy shoot up the arms. Again, noticing your shoulders are drawn back, heart is opened. Breath, expanding the lungs. Exhaling, drawing belly button in towards spine as well as the shoulders, drawing back, engaging your upper back muscles. 2 more breaths on your own. When you're complete, you can just lower your chin so your neck is neutral. Just walk your hands towards yourself so you're sitting up nice and tall. And again, you can just bring your hands to your lap. You even shake out the shoulders if you like, and just hold for a moment just to experience that full relaxation in the body. Since that was our back bend, let's take our forward fold. I'm going to change our leg posture here. If your legs are crossed, let's just uncross them and place the soles of the feet together, creating bound angle pose or cobbler's pose. Here's where you're welcome to use your blocks or books on either side of the legs so the legs can rest, easily opened. You can just scoop up your toes, but if you notice, if you scoop up your toes and are bent over like this, you might want to slide your hands back, maybe to your ankles or shins, so you can sit up nice and tall as we begin. We'll inhale and continue to feel the lengthening of the spine, nice long torso. As we get ready to move, we exhale, draw belly in to engage our center and start to hinge forward just a little bit, being led by the heart and chin. Hold here for a moment. Maintain that lengthened spine. Don't worry if the arms and shoulders start to come in front of us. That's okay. Inhale to continue that nice lengthening of the spine. Exhale, draw belly in. Hinge forward a tiny bit more. Now at first we're just working with the straight spine, or as straight as can be. But you're welcome to go a little lower and deeper. And to do that, you might simply lower your chin or lower your head. Even let your back round, and then maybe fold a little bit more. Not needing to go too far. As always, we don't need to push or force our bodies in this class. Just really taking our time, just arriving in the place where you have sensation. And it feels good. It feels like you could hold here for quite a bit. Here your arms are still probably relaxed and naturally drawn forward, and that's just fine for this pose. But if you do have that rounded back, maybe take advantage of that by trying to breathe into your back body. just as we breathe into the chest and heart space, which we kind of think of as the front, think about breathing into your back and feel that expansion. We're going to do several poses that will also emphasize that feeling. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Fill up your lungs, mainly the back side of the lungs. When you're complete, just lift your chin if your chin has lowered so you can start to re-extend your spine. To assist your own body, you might press your hands into the mat so you help lift yourself up until you're nice and tall. Pause in stillness, take a breath. Let's continue our warm-up. I'm going to move our books or blocks to the side. Let's come to hands and knees. Here you might want to use your blanket or a nice soft towel to kneel on. Something like this. And just come to a tabletop position. We'll start with an inhale, lifting the head, looking forward, a little arch of the back, creating a back bend feel. This is cow pose. And exhale will round it out. So you'll feel your belly button pull up towards your spine, chin lowers or tucks in towards chest. Again, feel your pelvis, if you can, tip back. The belly will start to lower. Back will arch, heart will open, look forward. Exhale, tuck your tailbone underneath, rounding the spine. Pull belly button up towards spine. It broadens the back, chin to chest. And just continue with that gentle flow. Noticing all the dynamics of the body in motion as you create these cat and cow movements. Be sure you're breathing. Even as you inhale and open the heart, see if you can still fill up the lungs on the front side. And then exhale, feel belly button pull up towards spine, chin to chest. Finish the breath that you're on. Go ahead and take 2 more. Still going at your own pace here. When you're complete, just come to a neutral tabletop position. Keep your neck nice and long, which means your gaze is probably directly down between your thumbs. And we're ready to move. If you're using some padding, go ahead and crawl off your mat or padding there and set your blanket off to the side or towel and come back onto hands and knees. We'll get set up for downward facing dog. Here you might step your hands forward a little bit. As you do so, spread out your fingers, creating a nice solid base, a good stretch through each finger or between each finger. Press into the mat with flat palms. Feel the energy in your arms. You want that strength. Tuck your toes under. Let's do 1 more cat and cow, starting with cow. That's the inhale and our back bend. Exhale, round it out. Feel the broadening of the back, belly button pulls up towards spine. Then lift your knees off the mat. Send your hips up into the air. That should create a straight line in the spine. You might need to adjust your feet on your mat so you feel steady and strong. Just 1 breath. And then just start walking the feet forward, perhaps just to the center of your mat until your feet are flat on the ground. And then slide your hands toward your toes. This will put you in a deep forward fold. And we're just going to go ahead and slide the hands up the legs a bit, maybe just below the knees, right here onto the shins, just rising up halfway. So we're at a half forward fold. Let's just take a couple breaths here. Just feel the energy of the posture. And then we'll shift the weight back into the heels. Bend your knees. Feel like you're about to sit down. Look forward. Take your arms out to the side. Then take your arms all the way up. A nice inhale, reaching for the ceiling. Exhale, your palms may be flipped down, pressing the air down as you bring your arms down to your side. Go ahead and relax here for a moment. Take a moment to acknowledge your shoulders. Maybe a few circles backward and forward. Even go down through the joints, elbows, wrists, even your fingers here too. Let's go through another half salute to the sun, which is our forward fold, and we come right back up to standing. Okay, starting in mountain pose. Let's inhale and lift the air, palms up, reaching into the sky. Exhale, start to hinge at the hips, bend the knees, feel like you're sitting back into a chair that's behind you. Slowly fold. Coming down, maybe you'll touch your shins, ankles, maybe your toes. Inhale, slide your hands up the legs to create that long tabletop. You'll be parallel to the ground. Hold here on the exhale. Take 2 breaths in this posture. Go ahead and shift your weight back into the heels. Bend your knees. Feel like you're sitting into the low chair. Tip your torso up. Take your arms out. Stand up tall, reaching into the air. Energy through your fingertips as if you're going to touch the ceiling. Exhale, arms return to your side. Excellent. Alrighty, let's go ahead and do our variation of Warrior 1, and then we're going to do a few more shoulder things. I'm just going to quickly adjust my mat. There we go. So our short lunge exercise. Okay. So standing nice and tall, soften the knees, start shifting weight into right foot planted strongly into the ground. You're going to feel nice and tall here, lengthen spine, but lean forward a little bit. You might even feel your right foot, your toes, grip the mat so you don't topple over. And then start tiptoeing the left foot back, heel lifted, so a flexed foot like this. And then turn the whole leg, so pivot, and then place that heel into the floor, shifting the whole body back into this balanced place. You can keep a nice bend in the front knee. The left leg is probably a little bit bent there too. You're going to place your hands on your hips, push your pelvis down like you're pushing the pelvis down towards the ground. At the same time, feel very tall and lifted in the torso, creating some good space in the belt line so you can start to turn to face mostly forward. We'll inhale, take the arms all the way up. This exhale, just bend the elbows to 90 degrees and just notice palms are facing forward. All right? And if you can see me, imagine you're actually going through a door, but your arms are kind of trapped in the door jamb there. And so the arms kind of pull back, heart is leading. You're going to feel this in the arms, but also notice where else you might be feeling this. Maybe across the chest, okay? Maybe upper back muscles are kind of tingling back there. Now go ahead and shoot the arms straight up as you inhale. Exhale, bring the arms back down, place hands on hips. Let's lean forward, put weight into the front foot. Let's peel the left foot up off the floor, step forward so the feet are together. And then stand up nice and tall once again. Reach into the sky, both arms. Exhale, bring your arms down to your side. Let's get set up for the other side right away. Remember to keep a little bend in the knees so we don't lock out the knees. Start shifting weight into left foot. Press. Feel tall, lengthen spine, lean forward, grip the mat with left set of toes, start tapping the right foot back, doesn't have to go back far, heel lifted, flexed foot, pivot or turn that leg, plant the heel into the ground, shifting your whole body weight back to center. Hands on hips, push pelvis down, feel the tall, lengthened torso, making space so you can turn to face forward. Inhale, let's extend the arms up into the sky. Exhale, bend elbows to 90 degrees. Same thing, let's try to walk through that imaginary doorway, heart opening, that stretch quality across the chest from shoulder to shoulder. Feel what might be happening in the upper back as well. Okay, a little chest opening. That's something that's going to actually help with shoulder release as well. Let's go ahead and inhale, shoot the arms straight up. Exhale, bring the arms down, bring hands to hips. We'll lean forward, shifting weight into the left foot. Let's peel the right foot up off the ground, step forward, feet together. Inhale, sweeping both arms back up into the air. Stretch. Exhale, bring your arms down to your side. Take a moment again to shoulder roll, shoulders back, shoulders forward. Very good. All right, do something with me here. You might want to take your feet just a little bit wider, just something like this so you can really feel kind of planted. Okay, let's start with the palms facing forward. Palms forward or kind of outward naturally puts what I call an outer rotation or an outer spiral in the arm. It allows the shoulder, because it's the whole shoulder at work here, it rolls back. That's exactly what we want to have. So it counters the effect of shoulders rolling in, feeling hunched over at a computer desk. Okay, that's the shoulder roll in. or the inner rotation. We want an outer rotation. So just feel the palms flip forward or slightly out, and that affects the shoulders here. Go ahead and take the arms, they're kind of out at an angle. They don't have to be out at the side, but kind of at an angle, and just lift, hold for a moment. Okay, still feeling or noticing the outer rotation as the arms are kind of out at an angle here. Now flip the palms down, and then just bring the arms down. Okay, we're going to do that one more time, same thing. Flip the palms forward, lift. There's a slight turn, okay? I'm just actively trying to turn the arm and hand up and out. Hold, and then flip it in, and then bring the arms down. Very good. You can even shake that out. And we do the same thing, but a little bit more out to the side now. Go ahead and lift the air, palms up, just to parallel to the floor. Hold. Breathing. Now we're going to flip the palms down and notice how the shoulders roll in. Maybe you can even see the shoulders. But continue to turn the arms and shoulders. Maybe your palms are facing the back of the room. Hold. Okay? And just noticing what your rotation of your arms and shoulders are like. And then roll them back open. This also is taking into consideration endurance of our arms and shoulders with our arms in the air like this. So we roll the arms back, palms up, but even feel like you're trying to reach to the back of the room with the palms. One more time, flip them forward, down, and then towards the back of the room again, so the shoulders have done the inner rotation. Let's flip the palms back up here. Inhale, take the arms all the way up. Ooh, last movement there. Press the arms all the way down to your side. Now you really want to shake out those shoulders. All right, good job. We're going to do something else in standing, but a little bit later. Let's go ahead and flow. Let's come back to mountain pose. So feet about hip distance together. So as we inhale and take the arms out and up, again, pay attention to flipping the palms up. Shoulders roll back for the outer rotation. Exhale, palms might come down, but fold forward, hinging at the hips, bent knees, make your way down. Back will naturally round, that's fine. Inhale, slide your hands up the legs a bit to re-extend and flatten the whole back. Exhale, fold, keep going, bend your knees more so you can place your hands on your mat on the ground here. Then step both feet back to the back end of your mat into plank pose. Hold here for a couple breaths. Good strength building. Take a shortcut to down dog by bending your knees. Send your hips into the air. And this may send the feet forward just a little bit. Just tiptoe forward a little bit. Hands are pressing firmly into the ground. Strong arms. Let's go for our lunge, our second variation of Warrior One. We're going to inhale, lift the right foot. Exhale, bend the right knee. Bring the right knee in underneath you towards your chest. As you're doing so, shift your whole upper body forward. Shoulders will be aligned over your wrists. Set the right foot down. Okay, just your toes. And then set the left knee down. Bringing the legs down like this will allow you to free up the hands so you can actually go get your right foot. Set it up at the top of the mat. Relift your left knee. Pivot left heel to the floor. Now we have more distance between the feet. Just be sure you have some good pressure in that back foot. Perhaps rise up to fingertips to help extend your spine so your torso feels long. And then hinge from hips with an inhale. Let's float the palms up and arms up into the air. Palms will face each other in your Warrior One. We're going to exhale, turn your torso towards the left side of the room as your palms come face down and come down to parallel for Warrior Two. Okay, we're going to do a couple things here. Let's go ahead and flip the palms up again like we did in that standing position. Outer spiral of the shoulders. Here, keeping that opening, but you're going to bend your elbows, but bring your elbows in towards your ribs. Feel like you're holding two platters in the hands. Bring the elbows in. Serve the platters, shoot them out. Okay, we're going to flip those palms down, but see if you can still kind of maintain that shoulder roll back rather than kind of that dip inward, okay? Let's take our side angle pose. So reach forward, Angled upper body. Rotate the arms. You don't have to go down too low. I'm even going to place my hand on thigh here for a moment. Left hand reaching straight up. Okay, my palm is facing you. We're going to do something here. Reach to the back of the room, to the back end of your mat with the left hand. Palm is facing the left side of the room. But you're going to spin the palm so it's facing the back of the room. This does create an inner rotation. Bend the elbow, I'm going to call this scarecrow, and then slide the hand behind you, just to mid-back, low back at the middle, right there. Now this may continue to force the shoulder to dip in or forward. We do our best, even though there is an inner rotation of the shoulder, roll the shoulder back to help open the chest. That's why it's okay to be up higher in this side angle pose. So we're rolling that left shoulder back, opening up through the chest, even though there is kind of at the same time an inner rotation happening in that left shoulder. A couple breaths. I'm going to release that hand from the back, turn the palm so it's facing up towards the ceiling, because that will get the outer rotation, and then take hand up into the air. We'll go all the way around to the front, turn the whole body forward, both hands, free up the hands, bring the hands down to the floor, rise up onto your tiptoes behind you, press palms into the ground, slide your right foot back, plank pose. Hold there for a moment. Take your shortcut to down dog. Bend your knees, lift your hips into the air. Let's do the other side. So an inhale to extend left leg up. It doesn't have to lift high. Exhale, bend your left knee, bring it in underneath you toward your chest, shifting your body forward. Shoulders will be over the wrists. That's a nice straight line. Set the left foot down anywhere. Set your right knee down anywhere. And so that's going to allow us to go get the left foot, pick it up, and place it up near the top of the mat. Hands are planted here. Relift your right knee, pivot right heel to the floor, put some weight and energy in that back foot. Rise to fingertips to help extend your spine, facing forward. Hinge from hips, rise up, reach into the air so palms are up. Palms will face each other briefly in Warrior One. Turn with an exhale towards the right side of the room. As your arms come down to parallel, palms will face the floor. We're going to do the exact same thing. See if you can maintain this lunge. Flip your palms up. Feel the shoulders kind of roll back, outer rotation. Bring elbows in towards ribs, like you're holding platters. Reach out again, just like that. Flip the palms down. And then reach forward with the left arm and just rotate. Again, we're not going to go down too low. Maybe just placing your hand on your thigh. Right hand will go straight up into the air. Right palm is facing the right side of the room. Keep the arm well extended, but start reaching to the back end of your mat. And then spin the palm so it's facing the other side of the room. Shoulder roll, inner rotation here. Bend your elbow, that's our scarecrow, and then slide the hand behind you as if you're sliding on a belt. And let it rest there at the low back. At the same time, see if you can roll the right shoulder back. So again, kind of two things happening at once. Okay, because of the spin of the palm in, inner rotation. Okay, hand behind you, but you want to pull the shoulder back. So what's allowing you to do that is some opening between the pectoral area and the shoulder, deltoid area. Let's re-extend that back arm. Flip the palm up, outer rotation, reach into the air, and take it all the way over. Face forward, free up both hands, lower yourself down, palms to the floor, rise up on tiptoes behind you. Press palms into the mat so you can slide the left foot back. Here's plank. Go ahead and set the knees onto the ground here. We'll sit back briefly in hero. And then you'll sit off to the side. We're going to take a seat in the center of the mat. Let's get ready for our back bend. Bridge pose, supported bridge pose. You'll need your stack of blocks or books. Sit in the center of your mat. Go ahead and roll down onto your back. Be sure you can grab your blocks easily. You can do a quick hug, draw knees to chest, and then set feet onto the floor. Settle in for a moment. A couple breaths, just fine. press feet into the ground, lifting hips into the air. Grab your blocks, slide your blocks underneath you to sit on. And this is our heart opener, back bend. So another opportunity for shoulder release. As best as you can, get your arms kind of underneath you. I've been talking about inner spirals and outer spirals with the arms. So here you want an outer spiral, okay, or outer rotation. So your palms might be facing upward. That'll help open the shoulders. Holding here for several breaths. Now we've been doing some good opening, and that's great. Now we're going to do a little binding. That's okay, a little constrictive a little bit, but it still will help focus on just the different movements that the shoulder can make. 3 more breaths. You're going to press your feet into the ground, lifting your hips so you can move your blocks out from underneath you. Slowly come down to the ground. We're going to come to seated, but first you might just draw your knees to chest. To sit up, you might rock your way up to seated or even roll to your side and then press yourself up to seated, just like this. We're going to get the legs back behind us. Come to hands and knees. Step the hands forward, spread out your fingers, press palms into the ground, strong arms. Tuck your toes, lift the knees, hips into the air, downward facing dog. Let's do another lunge sequence. Inhale, lift your right foot, extend the leg back behind you. Exhale, bend the right knee, bring it forward, and as you're able, maybe stepping the foot up near the hand or do what we did before with the variation. Okay, setting the left heel to the floor, just turning out the leg, which is also an outer spiral, by the way. Rise up to fingertips, extend the spine. Inhale, we'll hinge up, turn palms up, reach out and up into the air. Opening to your warrior 2, palms down. Hold here for just a moment, and then just relax the arms. Now we're going to straighten the right leg for a moment. Turn the toes so all 10 toes are facing the same direction. Now you might be turned sideways, that's fine. That's perfect actually. You just have a nice wider stance on your mat. Take your left arm, maybe I'm going to be mirroring you I think, left arm, and you're just going to roll it in, okay, so an inner rotation, but bring it to center like this. Like your whole body is going to kind of lean over to the right side with this left shoulder kind of rolling in. And just notice how your whole arm and hand turns. We're doing this on purpose in a moment, okay? So that was the left arm. Come back up, open it back up, and do the other side. Right arm, turn it in, whole body turns in. Maybe you can continue to feel the rotation. Okay, we're just kind of emphasizing it just by bringing the whole body forward. Okay? We're going to open it back up. Now go ahead and turn your right foot. Okay, now I'm doing right foot along with you. Right knee bending, returning to our warrior 2 lunge. Let's take our arms back out to parallel, warrior 2. Now let's reach forward with the arm right there. Rotate the arms. Okay, just like that. Same thing but as before. We're just going to bring the left hand down, bend the elbow, slide, that's our scarecrow, slide the arm behind you. Alrighty. Now, if you don't have to go too low, but I'm going to take my feet out a little wider, lower myself down a little bit more. So my arm, and if you're able, maybe getting the elbow below the leg. We're going to do an inner spiral, turning that arm just as we did up here, okay? We're just doing it kind of down here, okay? Turning the arm in, which is going to allow you to bend your elbow and reach your right hand kind of like behind you, okay? Now we're just going to release, bring this left hand up and over, turn so your hands are on the floor. Rise to a warrior 1. and bring the arms down to your side. Then we're going to do a binding sensation. So we're in our warrior one position. Here's what we'll do. You're going to bring your arms forward, like you're going to fly forward like this. You're going to drop your left arm just a bit lower than the right. Cross at your elbows. Flip your palms up. Lift or bend the elbows really, and just lift. Okay, now the shoulders have been drawn in front of us. Okay, a little bit of a pull in the upper back. Okay, with some concentration on stretching kind of the rear portion of the shoulders. And of course, we've got some leg work going on. So elbows moving forward, broadening the upper back. So again, see if you can breathe into the upper back. Okay. Let's straighten out the arms, uncross them, take them out to the side, reach up into the air, hinge and fold. Bring the hands down to the floor in front. Let's step back into plank pose just to create some alignment. Bend your knees, hips into the air, down dog. Getting ready for the other side. So an inhale to extend left leg up. Bend the knee, shifting forward as you're able. Step left foot to the top of the mat or near left hand. Right heel turns to the ground, planted firmly. Rise to fingertips, extend spine. Inhale, palms up, reach up into the air, warrior one. Exhale, opening here to warrior two. Okay, ready for our side angle. We reach forward, rotate the arms. Right hand reaching straight up initially. Okay, going for our little bit of a bind, reaching to the back of the room with the arm. Turn the palm. Bend the elbow, your scarecrow, and slide the belt on, just hand to low back. Now, as you're able, you might need a little bit more distance between the feet, so a deeper lunge, and start to lower your way down. Okay, maybe elbow just below that thigh or leg. Inner rotation of that whole left arm. What this is allowing us to do is to bend the elbow underneath the leg so it's reaching maybe towards the back of the room. Hold for a moment. So we create a bit of a bind. We're going to be coming back to this pose in a moment. Re-extend the hand to the floor, that it might even touch the floor. As the right arm reaches into the air, reopening through the shoulder. Turn so we can bring the hands to the ground. We're going to rise again to a warrior one. Maybe arms out to the side, palms up. Reach into the air, warrior one. You can exhale, bring your arms down to your side. Let's do that same binding sensation. Just lift the arms, reach forward, maybe palms down. Drop the right arm just a little lower than the left. Cross the arms so you're making an X with the arms at the elbow. Flip the palms up. Bend your elbows, just like this. Lift the elbows. Even feel like you're sending your elbows forward. Feeling that broadening sensation in the back. A little stretch for the back portions of the shoulders. Some deep breaths into your back. Now the arms we're creating are kind of like eagle. So we haven't wrapped the arms all the way. It's really just a cross here. Okay, just to emphasize bringing the arms and shoulders in front. Okay, let's straighten the arms. Uncross. Open the arms out to the side. We'll take them all the way up into the air. Hinge and fold. Hands down to the mat. We'll step back into plank. Hold straight line to align. And then here, just bring your knees to the floor. Sit back briefly in hero. Just like that, just to get off the hands. You can circle the wrists here if you need a little relief. Check in with your elbows, check in with your shoulders. Okay, so we did this binding action, okay, where I had you kind of rotate in on both sides to help us get into our next bind. And we're going to be doing that again, but we're going to be using that hand towel, okay? So you may want to have it nice and long and just kind of twirl it up so it's kind of long and thin like this. You're going to place it on the floor on the left side of you, okay? On the floor, really close to the mat on your left side. Okay, keep it there for a moment. So again, just kind of a quick review of what we did. We did some inner rotations to get ready for that bind. We're going to do that again now with the towel. And then we did a little cross thing, bringing the arms forward, getting that stretch in the outer portion and rear portion of the shoulders. All right, let's come back out to hands and knees. Tuck your toes. Lift the knees, downward facing dog. Let's go. We're going to inhale, lift your right foot extended back. This is all the same. Bend your right knee, bring the knee in underneath you. We're going for the lunge, stepping right foot to the top of the mat. Stay here for a moment in the lunge. Pivot left heel to the floor, get that situated, but grab your towel. Okay, just at the end with your left hand. Then we're going to inhale, maybe reach forward with both arms, rising up, reach into the air. So you got this towel in your left hand, reaching into the air. Exhale, open it to your warrior two. You might need to put a little bit more distance between the feet, right there. Okay, here comes our side angle, reach forward, maybe a little bit more. We're going to rotate the arms. So right hand is going to come down, left hand reaching into the air. Kind of get that towel dropping down behind you as best as you can. Okay? Just for a moment. Okay? Now you're going to take it to the back of the room. Scarecrow, bend the elbow. Bring it to your low back. So you're going to kind of create this tail. Can you see my tail? Right arm. If you can, get a little lower. Getting the elbow below the leg. Inner rotation of the right arm. Really emphasize that. Getting low enough so you can bend your elbow and you're going for that tail. Grab the strap, okay, or grab the towel, or even if you can, reach your fingers, your left hand that's behind you. This is the bind that I was talking about. Now, this left shoulder up here is probably dipping down. If you can, because it is an inner spiral, but we're going to see if we can open the chest, okay, to open yourself back up. If you need to loosen the grip or change the position of your hands on your towel, that's fine. Okay, now just drop that towel behind you. It's going to end up on the right side of your mat. Re-extend the arms floor to ceiling. Turn. Let's bring both hands to the floor. Rise up on the tiptoes behind you. Plant the hands. Slide the right foot back. Here's plank. Really feel the body straightening out. Let's bring the knees to the floor. Sit back briefly in hero. I'm using the time to adjust my mat, but you may also want to get your towel ready to do the other side. Alrighty, so that's a bind. It's just a side angle with the bind. We're just using the strap, or I keep calling it a strap because I usually use a strap, or your towel. Okay, let's bring the hands out onto the mat here, hands and knees, getting ready for the other side. Tuck your toes. Let's lift the knees, lift the hips, straight spine in your down dog. Here goes our lunge. Inhale, extend left leg up. Exhale, bend the left knee, bring it in, shift forward, setting left foot down near the top of the mat or near left hand. Right heel turns to the floor. Before you rise, grab the end of your towel with the right hand. Make sure your spine is long. We're going to inhale and take the arms forward and up into the air. Got the towel. Exhale, opening to warrior two. Getting ready for our side angle. I'm just putting a little bit more distance between the feet. Nice deep lunge. Reach forward, angled upper body. Rotate the arms. Okay, right hand reaching up into the air. Got the towel up there. You're going to bring the arm down. Scarecrow arm. Bring that hand to low back. So you're going to create that tail. Okay, so your towel is just dropping down. Then lower yourself a little bit more. Left arm reaching down just to the point where your elbow is just past the leg, because you want to be able to bend the elbow. Inner rotation of that left arm. Turn. So you can bend that elbow easily. Oh, there's the strap right there. Grab your towel. Now, pay attention to your right arm. That right shoulder is probably dipping towards the floor. As you're able, you're trying to lift your whole upper body up, turn more towards the right side of the room, and roll the right shoulder back. Loosen the grip on the towel if you need to, so you can find this nice opening. Here's our bind. Okay, we can go ahead and just drop the towel, re-extend the arms, reaching the right arm up into the air, turn, bringing both hands to the floor in front, rise up onto your tiptoes behind you, that's our runner's lunge. Plant the hands strongly so you can slide left foot back, there's our plank pose. Set the knees down, sit back, hero. So that's how we create our binds. We did 2 binds actually, with the arms kind of wrapped and crossed, and then also with the strap or towel kind of binding the arms behind us. What I want to finish with is another nice opening. Now I mentioned, we can get pretty tight. I'm going to face you. You can sit more comfortably if you need to. We can get tight right across here. There's a tie-in of muscles and ligaments and everything between the shoulders and the pectoral region here. Now, if we're always hunched over, those muscles and tendons are going to tighten, they're going to shorten, and we get stuck here. We literally can get stuck here over time. Okay, so we want to make sure we're doing some kind of exercise like yoga to help keep that open, strong, limber, flexible. That's why we do a lot of rolling of the shoulders back. Okay, but also kind of right through the center here, the anterior muscles here, the front body, they too kind of close in on us. And so we want to keep things open as best as we can. A little bit of a stretch, an active stretch. So that's what we're going to do. We've already been doing some of that, but now a little bit more awareness of it. This is where you want your big pillow, cushion, or rolled up towels. Now you can even do this in supported bridge pose with your blocks, okay? But see if you can do this with the big pillow if you happen to have one, okay? Just going to set that down. You can just go ahead and come with me. Now, another thing you could add to this is some resistance. We're going to do it once without resistance, and the second time we do it, we'll do it with resistance, and I'll tell you what that means. So you can just cross the legs or lift legs out front. You've got your pillow or whatever you've got behind you. You're going to gently just lie back. Okay, so hopefully it kind of creates a bit of a back bend. That's why it's okay. You can actually do this in bridge pose. This is just something softer to use. And you're going to reach your arms straight up, bend your elbows at 90 degrees, but just bring the elbows kind of down to the floor. And just by holding the arms out like this, it opens the chest. Okay? So this is where you could use resistance. We'll do that the second time. Now I happen to have a timer next to me. Okay, go ahead and relax your arms for a moment. We're gonna hold that position for about 30 seconds, okay? Go ahead and lift your hands. Keep the elbows maybe touching the floor, chest open, starting now. There's our 30-second clock I have near me. I'm just going to listen for the alarm. But again, as we're waiting, it's opening up through the chest, a nice kind of natural active stretch, but it's not forcing the stretch. And your elbows might be touching the floor. If they're not, that's okay. Gravity is helping to open. All right, 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Alrighty, so go ahead and relax. You can just relax the arms, maybe down by your side. Now, as I mentioned, you can do resistance. Maybe you've got some very, very light weights, hand weights, to help that stretch, okay? So if you happen to have something like that, you can kind of hold the body open. If you don't, maybe just use your blocks. Even though they're light, they've got some weight to them, okay? You can just hold your blocks, or maybe you've got books. Those certainly have weight to them. And just hold them like you're holding a pair of dumbbells, for example. Let's do another 30 seconds, okay? So you can do it with or without resistance. I'm starting the timer now. 30 seconds, here we go. I'm using my light blocks, even though they have a little bit of resistance, or adding some resistance to the stretch and opening through the chest. So I want to encourage you to do something like this, every other day, a couple of days, a couple times a week. Just open up the chest, especially if you find yourself, hunched over quite a bit most of the time. 2 seconds, and relax. Excellent. Alrighty. So if you're on a cushion like this, you might want to roll to your side, So you can lift yourself back up and move your cushion out of the way. Okay, now we're going to go back to our supported bridge pose. Maybe you just did that bridge pose, but let's go ahead and go back to that and start the completion of our practice. So go ahead and roll down. Go ahead and hug knees into chest. Even a little massage here. Go ahead and set your feet onto the floor when you're ready. You'll press feet into the ground, lift your hips, slide your blocks underneath you, sit and relax. And you can probably feel how this is very similar to what we just did, okay? How it opens the chest, you can get the shoulders a bit underneath you. You can even go back to that arm posture as if you're holding on to 2 light dumbbells in your hand to help open up through the chest, okay? Wonderful exercise to do to keep the anterior muscles, the front muscles of the torso and body opened, stretched, okay, and strong, so they don't just pull in and create that hunched over feeling over time. If you're able, stay seated on your blocks and extend your legs up into the air for our inverted pose. Now you can certainly do this lying flat on your mat or bring in something softer like a big cushion or pillow. You might start with extended legs. You can even hold on to the legs with your hands or put some bend in the knees. Even add some movement here. Just as we got into the joints of the upper body, let's get into the joints of the lower body. Hips, now some focus on the knees, ankles, and toes. So some light movement here. You can just hold in place. You don't have to add movement. You can even add some more extensions, even out to the side. Okay, nice wide opening there for inner leg stretch. You can even cross the legs. 2 more breaths. And then we'll bend the knees, set the feet carefully back down onto the ground. Press into the ground so you can lift your hips, remove your blocks or cushion. Come down to the earth. Let's extend the body, extend the legs out front. Reach your arms behind you. Just a nice extended body here. Let's hug the right knee in, just your right knee. Catch it in your hands and just gently hug it in. And you're going to take that bent knee and leg kind of out to the side. This is kind of a light variation of half happy baby pose. Okay, just kind of opening the leg a little bit out to the right side. And just you're basically just holding the weight of the leg in your hand. Now you could kick the right foot up towards ceiling, hold on to the bottom of the foot with your right hand for the happy baby pose. But I like this other version for a soft flow yoga class option. So you can do this version by holding onto the foot, or just hold the leg open. 3 more breaths. More of a gentle stretch here. You might bring it back to center and extend the leg out front. Hold. You can just relax for a moment. Take a breath. And then we'll do the other side. So hug the left knee in. Gently. And then sending that bent left leg out to the left side, letting the heaviness of the leg rest in your left hand. And you can do so because your left elbow's on the floor. Okay, you can just kind of let it rest there. That's just the modification of the pose. You can do the more traditional pose of holding onto the sole of the foot as it has kicked up towards the ceiling and gently press downward. A little bit more energy, more effort, more sensation. But if you need less sensation today, here's the other version. 3 more breaths. And then we'll bring it back up to center. Let's hug the right knee in. Hug both knees in. And then we'll take a twist. We'll take both knees over to the left. Okay, both knees over to the left side as you extend your right arm to the right side of the room, settling in. Deep breath to help you settle into the twist. So we did some movements of the shoulders, getting that nice mobility and flexibility in the shoulders, which I think is very important. Also just thinking about posture, how that outer spiral of the arm helps our posture, helps us to sit up nice and tall and not be hunched over all the time. 2 more breaths. Let's go ahead and bring knees back up to center. Hug the knees in, hold. And then we'll finish with the other side. Knees to the right. Left arm extends off to the left. Settle in. Some breaths. And then the additional observation was the anterior body, or just the front body, thinking about chest and the chest muscles. Those too can get bound up and tight, especially in our hunched over conditioning. So to counter that, and that's one of the reasons why we're probably doing yoga, to help open, stretch, and release those tight muscles. So even just holding the body open in some kind of back bend, heart opener, like we did with the cushion, with the blocks, okay, can help release and strengthen, helping with posture and longevity. 1 more breath. Let's bring the knees back up to center. Once again, hug the knees in towards heart. Let's take the last few minutes in Shavasana, extending the legs out front, arms resting down by your side. We sometimes say, let your arms lie down by your side with palms up. Okay, and that's for several reasons. One, yes, it creates that outer rotation in the shoulders, just emphasizing posture, even when you're lying down. But also it's a way of kind of receiving energy. Palms up, receiving the energy of the sky, perhaps. Just as our hearts are open here, receiving. So close your eyes and just accept all that you need, want, desire, and deserve. Take the time here just to settle in. Deep, long breaths. Feel free to stay here as long as you need to. Even as I end the practice, which is shortly, feel free to stay here a little bit longer. Even as I end the class and come to seated and end with namaste, you can do your namaste right here lying down in Shavasana. So take 5 more breaths wherever you happen to be. Deep cleansing breaths. Perhaps even breathing into your shoulders, breathing into your back body, breathing into your front body. Feel free to stay lying on your back or slowly roll onto either side of your body into a nurturing pose. And then still moving as slowly as you can, press and lift yourself up to seated. Sitting up as tall as you can, nice lengthened spine, even with hands resting On your knees or thighs, roll your shoulders back, nice open heart. Hands can stay here or bring hands to heart center. Take one more breath in and out. And as we come to the close of our practice together, we bow saying, Namaste.